She's getting a bit outpaced now. It's a really good, it's a 62 seminar, you know, but Ian, who owns the bikes, we love running this bike, bit of nostalgia, but I think if Cam could squeeze 100 mile an hour today, it'll be the only one in the world ever to do it, so that's what we're hoping to do.
Well, after a delayed start because of mist on the mountain section, Ollie Linsdell it was who led them off again, this time on a Team Winfield Honda. And not far behind Ollie was Cameron Donald on the AJS, that bike that Fred Walmsley was hoping would break the British single-cylinder speed record. And it did. This though wasn't to be Ollie Linsdell's day, the winner of the Classic 500 struggling on that Honda and forced to call it quits.
Just kept going onto one cylinder, so seemed every time I shut the throttle it would chime back in only on one, and then I'd just sort of coax it, and then finally the second one had come in, and then it'd go alright until I next shut the throttle. So then by the end of that last lap there, it was just pretty much all the time on a single cylinder. You know, it would take sort of 10 seconds to chime the second one back in, so I don't know what was going on there, but obviously can't ride a bike with half the cylinders it should have.
With Linsdell out of the race, the positions were open. The likes of Chris Palmer, Chris Swallow, Dan Cooper, and of course Cameron Donald were all in the mix. This was a big race, as you've heard from Fred Walmsley, for Donald, the Australian, on that AJS. Could he break that record?
Breaking news, the 7-hour has done 100 mile an hour lap, the only one ever in the world. The nearest lap to it on a standard frame 7-hour was Mike Wood in 1962. This is I mean, we want it to finish, but this is a tremendous achievement for an old bike. She's an old lady style because it's heavy, you know, and it's English, that's the thing.
So congratulations to the English and the Aussies, but Chris Palmer it was who commanded this race pretty much from start to finish, with more than a minute to spare going into the last lap. Palmer so comfortable, didn't even stop for fuel.
I love this little bike and I've always got a really good feeling with it. I was struggling to steer it because I've got a sore arm. I had to put the steering damper on like extra hard, and I did struggle in some corners, to be honest, but that was the lesson of the two evils. It handled the bumps better, so I can hang on to it better. But no, just faultless, brilliant. Really happy. Bike was working really great and had a lot of fun on road. I caught up with Alan Oversby and Chris Wallow, so we had a real good time, the three of us on road for a long time, so that kept it interesting.
It's a long race on a little bike like this, but you know, it's got us to the end, and I'm over the moon to be on the podium. It's my first podium at the Isle of Man, so yeah, hopefully there's more to come.
Not far behind the 350s came the 250cc bikes. Ewan Hamilton had led in the early stages, but was forced to retire, and Jonathan Cutts took the lead and never relinquished it. On a bike he built himself.
Well, most of it's myself. Yeah, I've been working on it for years. I've broken down a lot, which other people have as well. It takes something to get a 250 round here. So yeah, we've done it.